Oh, the snow is coming down here across the inland Northwest. We're tracking it. I'm letting you know how much you're seeing, and boy, is it piling up in some locations.
All right, my friend, and we are taking a look, as Jeremy talking about, the snow all across the inland Northwest, hitting hard this morning and into the afternoon. So see what crews are doing to keep our roads clear, as people, of course, will be heading home later tonight. Some big developments today as the Cougs prepare for the Sun Bowl. Now, WSU knows it will face Miami, but what we don't know is who the coaches will be for the opponent. Hi, everyone, and welcome to KREM 2 News at Noon. It's good to see you. I'm Laura Papetti. So let's get right to it and take a live look outside on this very snowy Monday afternoon. Ooh-wee, it is coming down out there. A couple of inches, or at least up to a couple of inches expected throughout the area today. Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo, he's in the thick of it in the KREM 2 Outdoor Weather Center. Jeremy,
look how much snow is in my hair, Laura. I've been out here for like a minute.
You look like Santa Claus now with your snowy beard and your hair.
I actually grew it out, you know, so I could pretend to be Santa Claus.
I like it.
So, ho, ho, ho.
Well, what do you got for the kids this afternoon, my friend?
All right, kids, listen up. We got a little bit of snow for you. Maybe even enough if you get away from some of the trees to do a little bit of sledding, especially if you're in somewhere like Coeur d'Alene, because look, the grass is gone. Early on this morning, it was a lot of grass. Here on the South Hill, I can still see quite a bit of grass, especially if you're underneath any of those trees. But look at it. It's really starting to pile up. We have the better part of an inch. I'd say about 3/4 of an inch here in the Outdoor Weather Center already on the ground, and it is still coming down. Coeur d'Alene looking pretty great, and our temperatures are a little bit cooler. Now, our winter weather advisory now encompasses Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, and even off to the north in Sandpoint and up toward Bonners Ferry, where anywhere between 1 and 4 inches of snow is expected. Now for us, kind of 1 to 2. And we're setting up a bit of a little convergence zone here where we're getting a little more moisture squeezed out, and that's what's giving us this wonderful snow. Now, one of the meteorological cop-outs is that you can say the best forecast is when it's already happening. And that's the case today, because once it started, we were able to see that, oh, hey, look, it's kind of setting up in a manner that's going to squeeze out a bit more. Now, unfortunately, this isn't going to last too much longer. Some of those forecast models say, enjoy it while you can, because what we're going to wind up seeing is here in the next hour, it starts to move to the south, and by this afternoon, it moves down into the Palouse, and that's where we're expecting a bulk of the activity. That snow eventually works its way out, and by tomorrow, we start drying out across much of the region. But keep in mind, temperatures stay cool all day today, overnight tonight, and into tomorrow. So any snow that you see on the ground now sticks around through the evening commute and tomorrow morning. So keep that in mind as things are getting a bit slick out there.
All right, my friend, that's right. It is a little bit slick out there, and depending on where you're at, you may have had a bit of snow to shovel this morning, but other areas, like maybe in downtown Spokane, not getting quite as much as some of the outlying areas. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley is in Deer Park with a look at the snowy conditions they had this morning.
Well, the first sign of snowfall started about 6 o'clock this morning here in Deer Park. It took a brief pause, and then those flurries started to pick right back up. At this time, the snow has accumulated to about 1.5 inches, and it's mostly powdery, not anything you can really make a snowball with. The roads up north here are completely covered in snow and slick in some places, so make sure to take it slow and give extra space between you and another car. Now, this morning, we talked to a few folks in the area who woke up either surprised or excited about the snow this morning.
Oh, I love it. I love it all. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Why is that?
Why? Yeah. Oh, because I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada, and I moved here 2 years ago, and I love the snow. It's better than the heat.
I want to make snow angels. So, yeah, this is wonderful. Yeah. And the highways are slick. I just took the dog out for a run, and the highways are, I mean, they're terrible. Like roundabouts, you slide around them instead of just normal.
Crews here got ahead of the snowfall and started sanding and de-icing the roads early this morning. We got a glimpse of a few of those plows on the roads making their way through Main Street and residential areas. So for the remainder of the morning, we saw quite a few folks out shoveling the sidewalk, like this gentleman here, making sure folks have a clear path to get where they need to go. Reporting in Deer Park, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Amanda, appreciate the update. If you have not already picked out a Christmas tree yet, well, you'll want to do it sooner than later. Many local farms, like around Green Bluff, are closing up early this season due to a shortage of trees. The demand has grown for cutting your own Christmas tree down, and recent droughts really are thought to be the main blame for the lack of crops.
The hot, dry summers and lack of moisture. A lot of seedlings that I planted probably the last 3 or 4 years didn't make it.
And you can still find a few Christmas trees all around the Green Bluff area, so we don't want to completely take away that option. Know that there's some still there. You can visit the Green Bluff Growers website and get more information. So Scraps, the animal shelter, closed for 2 weeks after 2 dogs died from a contagious disease outbreak in their shelter. The bacteria called strep zoo can only be transferred from dog to dog, yet vet experts say Scraps gave every dog at the shelter antibiotics and is in the process of calling guardians of dogs that recently left the shelter.
Dogs can acquire this, and usually it's always in shelter situations like Scraps, which is an excellent shelter. They do a very good job there. This can hit at any time for anyone's shelter.
Yeah, this happens, as you heard, at shelters on occasion, and until Scraps can reopen, it's asking people to help limit animal intake as much as absolutely possible. So if you find a healthy stray dog, Scraps says, if you can, hold on to them for the time being until potentially their families can be located, or they certainly can reopen. Spokane police are looking for the driver involved in a weekend hit and run, and it happened on Saturday in the Logan neighborhood near East Ermina and North Perry. Witnesses say a dark SUV hit a man and dragged him for 2 blocks. The victim was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. And hundreds of people gathered in Boise this weekend to stand up for working women. The group rallied on the Boise State campus in response to comments a professor there made against women in the workplace. People in attendance waved signs and stood up for every woman's right to work in whatever field she chooses.
I came out today to show my fellow friends in STEM, law, and medicine, and just being a female on this campus, that we do matter and we should be here.
Students at Boise State have now started a GoFundMe to support Boise State women studying STEM, medicine, and law. All right, it is 12:07 right now. Activist Ammon Bundy says he has completed his court-ordered community service while campaigning to be the next governor of Idaho. So in a letter to the court, Bundy says he completed more than 1,600 hours of public service while citing what seemed to be campaign-related activities. Bundy was ordered to perform 40 hours of community service after his conviction of misdemeanor trespassing and obstructing officers at the Idaho State House last summer. It's not clear if the judge will indeed accept Bundy's campaign activities as actual community service. All right, the Cougars are headed to the Sun Bowl, and the matchup just got a whole lot more interesting. The Cougs will face the Miami Hurricanes in a rematch of the 2015 Sun Bowl, where WSU came out victorious. However, just a few hours ago, Miami fired its head coach and hired the current coach of the Oregon Ducks. It's still not clear who will actually be on the sidelines at the upcoming Sun Bowl. For Washington State, it will be Jake Dickert's first game since he was officially named head coach of the Cougs. The game will be in El Paso, Texas on New Year's Eve, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And by the way, you can watch the game right here on KREM 2. The Gonzaga men's basketball team has fallen again in the latest AP poll. The Zags, now ranked number 5, losing to Alabama on Saturday in the battle in Seattle. The Zags were ranked number 1 just 2 weeks ago, but have since lost 2 games. The team will be back home in the kennel coming up on Thursday, and should be a good game. All right, coming up, sports betting has arrived in Spokane after a year of waiting. Northern Quest Casino opening its doors to the sportsbook. We'll give you a look inside.